Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship.
In 2011, Pro Circuit Kawasaki dominated the competition. There was 3 of their riders that were out front battling for this championship all the way through to the end.
Those riders were former world champion 25-year-old Tyla Ratray of South Africa, 19-year-old Dean Wilson out of Scotland, and 18-year-old California native Blake Baggett. Together, Team Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki took 23 out of 24 motos, all but 1 moto win on the 2011 season. Thousands of fans were on hand just outside of Sacramento, California at the opening round of the season in Hangtown. Surprisingly, it was a Geico Honda rider taking the whole shot.
And it's Eli Tomac, last year's hero here at Hangtown, out front again.
Tomac would be the closest contender to Team Monster Energy Kawasaki riders throughout the season, but inconsistencies prevented him from ever being a legitimate series points champion.
Oh, it's going to be close. Can he squeeze him, and he makes it happen? Dean Wilson has caught and passed Eli Tomac.
My expectations going into outdoors last year was, obviously my goal was always to be the champion, but I just focused on each race, and if you gather as many points as you can, then the results will all add up.
Good start for the championship chase for sure. They will score max points. Dean Wilson wins the first 250 Moto of the year at Hangtown.
Blake Baggett showed unprecedented speed all season. In Moto 2, the number 57 was fastest at the midway point of the race and eventually caught teammate Tyla Ratray on lap 11.
Baggett has shown him a wheel, shown him a fender. He just doesn't care. Here we go. Handful of throttle. And Baggett was close a lap ago, and this time he makes it stick. Wow. What a statement. Blake Baggett wins Hangtown.
Team Kawasaki took their first of 8 podium sweeps on the year.
The toughest track on the circuit, no doubt in my mind, it's Freestone in Texas. The heat is incredible. The humidity is off the charts. It's like immeasurable. The texture of the track, the type of soil, it's soft, it's rutted, there's some jumps, and it's so difficult, and everybody's still searching for bike setup. They're still trying to get acclimated to that summertime heat. That's what makes it the toughest track on the circuit.
In Moto 2 at Freestone, Geico Honda rider Justin Barcia was leading the race up until the final 3 laps.
Tyla Ratray in second, going after Justin Barcia. Ratray's come from a long way back to make this pass, and he's got the spot. Late in the race, it's hot, it's rough. Tyla Ratray just does not get tired.
I really like racing in Texas. Where the races were really hot, I really felt my fitness came into play and managed to get some pretty comfortable wins.
Tyla Ratray wins the second moto here in Texas, and with that, he should go 2-1 to take the overall.
By round 3 of the series at High Point Raceway, Dean Wilson was the series points leader. But his teammates Tyla Ratray and Blake Baggett were determined to challenge.
Well, watch, he's carrying his momentum around the outside. Wow! Tripled up and takes over the spot. Ratray's going to be on the inside for the next turn, but I don't know if he has the distance to get it back. They're going for the same piece of real estate. Baggett up against the fence. Well, Baggett lost the position, but he was lucky to just not lose the entire race altogether. He could have been done if he had run into the fence there.
How about the composure and the determination of Tyla Ratray not letting that pass stick? Oh, but now he's got on it again. No way!
Baggett around the inside and gets him.
That pass was amazing.
In the first moto, Blake Baggett outpaced his teammates and went on to take an impressive win over local hero Darren Durham.
Late in these races, Baggett has been lightning fast.
In the second moto, Baggett was out front and pulling away when he crashed all by himself.
Baggett off the motorcycle.
Blake Baggett is an interesting rider. He would get to the halfway point, and it didn't look like he was going to win the moto. And then all of a sudden, he would just wick it up. And it's like, where did these lap times come from?
Baggett on the outside. Can he pass him here? Rattray's going to take the line away. And Rattray, boy, he is being stubborn with his teammate. Just held him pinned all the way up around the outside. Another left-hand turn coming up.
Unbelievable that Baggett stayed in it on the outside. There he goes.
And he still makes the pass. So Blake Baggett takes the lead from Tyla Ratray, and Ratray did everything he could to prevent that from happening.
Last year's motocross season went really well. High point was definitely a high. Was out front and went down and then got back up and made it back to the front. Definitely had a lot of good races and then just a few bad ones that really hurt me in the points. Budds Creek was definitely a low because I started out good and went down the first lap both motos.
Oh, Baggett over the bars. Wow. And now he cannot get to the motorcycle. Too much traffic.
At Budds Creek, Baggett finished 7-7 on the day, setting him back 30 points in the series championship. Baggett's teammate Tyla Ratray picked up his second overall win in just 4 rounds.
Tyla Ratray came into this race with the series lead, and he will extend it with a big win here at Budds Creek.
Rattray's celebration as the points leader would be short-lived because at round 5, the Thunder Valley National, the number 28 would finish 5-5 on the day and give up the lead to teammate Dean Wilson.
Let's go racing in the 250 class, Colorado.
The biggest mystery of all in the 250 class was Blake Baggett. There were a couple of races at mid-season where he was absolutely unstoppable. You look every bit as dominant as some of the greats that have ever come through this class, the likes of Ryan Villapoto, James Stewart, Ricky Carmichael. It looked like Baggett had the championship on lock.
Baggett sneaks up on Barson, so now you got the Kawasaki's 1-2.
Let's see, Baggett's got the momentum on the outside. It will become the inside.
And it's going to become the lead. Wilson's got to fight back. Long straightaway past the Makita Mechanics area.
He got him back.
Wilson got him back. Somehow able to avoid contact. About a millimeter between those two bikes. They didn't touch. Wilson able to take the lead. Oh, and Baggett, how did he do that? Gently cut from outside to inside. El Chupacabra strikes again. He's in the lead. Checkered flag is out. Blake Baggett dominates here in Denver.
Baggett would claim the win in both motos at Lakewood, earning his 3rd overall win in 5 races. But heading into Redbud, the 19-year-old trailed points leader Dean Wilson by 20 points.
Who are the 2 riders that are stepping up in this championship and just bringing the intensity? It's the 57 of Baggett, the 15 of Dean Wilson.
Oh, they're drag racing uphill through the mud, and Baggett's got the spot. And you know what that is. Another win for Blake Baggett. 2nd weekend in a row. He goes 1-1.
Dean Wilson also repeated his Thunder Valley performance, going 2-2 at Redbud, and maintained his grasp on the points lead.
I feel like I've been riding well, you know. Blake's he's just got a little bit more than I do, and I've had moto wins but no overall wins, but you know, I'm staying consistent, which is good, you know, for a championship, but at the same time, I need the speed to get some wins.
Millville, Minnesota hosted round 7 of the championship, and Team Kawasaki continued their domination, going 1-2-3 in both motos. The first moto ended with Tyla Ratray pressuring Dean Wilson for the win.
Here comes Ratray, gonna put the attack on the outside.
Stuffs
One jump
it.
to go. Here's the finish line. And Dean Wilson is going to hang on by the slimmest of margins. Half a second between the 15 and the 28.
Ratray finished 2-1 on the day, capturing the overall and jumping back into 2nd place in the point standings.
He is going to win here at Millville, and he is back.
It was off to the tall pines of Washougal, Washington for round 8 of the championship. Blake Baggett finished 1-3 to take his 5th overall win through 8 rounds. But it was the last win the number 57 would see in 2011. Still looking to capture his 1st overall win was the series points leader Dean Wilson.
and we talk about how hard this sport is and how hard you have to work and the sacrifice and how brutal motocross can be. Dean Wilson last year said he was putting too much pressure on himself, trying too hard. Actually spent some time at Chad Reed's house in Florida over the summer, said he just concentrated on having fun, going back to the things that brought him to the sport in the first place, and it made him a wholly different rider.
We actually did like races, like it was like pretty intense, you know, we got the intensity up and stuff like that, and I don't know, I just like, when I came to Unadilla, I just felt so like good and ready to go. I was like just excited for the race.
The 9th round at the Unadilla National in New Berlin, New York, would be Wilson's time to shine.
Dean Wilson wins Moto 1 at Unadilla, and he does it in solid fashion, a 16-second lead over Baggett and Ratray.
Ratray finished 3rd in Moto 1, but then saw his championship hopes fall in Moto number 2.
Oh, that's Tyla Ratray down and in a bad spot.
My biggest letdown was Unadilla. You know, obviously I crashed there in the second moto, gave a lot of points away, and that's where I thought I pretty much lost the championship.
A big turnaround in the series as Dean Wilson comes in with a points lead and extends it by going 1-1 at Unadilla.
You know, I've been in the points lead and haven't had an overall win, so it's been tough, and finally got swept off my shoulders and got it done. It just feels good to win and get that little monkey off my back.
The Southwick National was next, where the riders raced in the wet and muddy remains of Hurricane Irene. Despite a solid performance and another overall win, Tyla Ratray was just too far off pace to contend for the title.
Let's go racing here in Pennsylvania.
Dean Wilson entered Moto 2 at Steel City, looking to wrap up his very first 250 class championship.
Wilson was second, now he's first. Your points leader back out front once again.
He's definitely feeling it.
It was a definitive 1-1 victory at Steel City that would secure the 20-year-old his first career professional title.
Here it is, folks. Dean Wilson's long journey from Scotland through Canada to the United States and to the American Motocross Tour, and now your 2011 250 Motocross champion.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. This is, I'm not lying when I say this, this is a dream come true. I've literally slept and dreamed about this, and oh man, I'm so happy, I'm so emotional. I mean, this is just crazy, and this is just unbelievable and the best feeling ever, and I hope this isn't the last one because it just feels way too good. Thank you, everybody.
We'll be right back with more from the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, including a preview of the 2012 season.